You can see the problem.
Good frosty morning, everyone. We are back at the pond cleanup job. And it was actually really cold this morning. I had ice on the truck when I went out to start it up. So definitely low 30s. Must be blackberry winter. Halfway through April, we got freezing temperatures. Kind of unusual for our area. Not unheard of though. So today, two things. The Peninsula that we put in, they've decided they want it moved about 30 feet from where it is right now up the little shoreline. Used to, that kind of thing would aggravate me. But you know, on this job we're getting paid by the day. And they had 2 hours left on their 2 days time that they wanted to contract me for. And it is about 9:45 right now. So I called him this morning to see where he wanted his last 2 hours used. And so we're going to be moving the Peninsula. Totally fine by me, and it'll go pretty quickly because that ground is already, for the most part, softened up. Even though I tracked it in, I didn't track it in by layer or anything. So that is going to be our project for this morning. Second thing, I'm going to leave the camera where you're at right now, because what I have been doing, you're on my windshield, and I've been lifting it up, putting you guys kind of like right about right here. But instead, I'm going to leave you right where you're at and just flip the camera down, and we'll see how that works out today. I'm going to do probably about 20-30 minutes of just real-time digging, because when I asked for a vote on what everybody liked, just about everybody wanted real time. Said that, you know, you guys can scroll your finger to fast forward through any parts that might be boring you. And that's my plan for the day. So about 30 minutes real time where you're at, and then the rest we'll just do a time lapse and finish this day out. I told him that he had 2 hours left, like I said, and he's got to go to work and won't be back till 12:30. So I was like, man, I'll just keep running the machine and get the Peninsula out as far as I can. So he's probably going to get an extra 45 minutes to an hour more. I'm not going to charge him. I know that a lot of times with this kind of thing, when the customer wants you to just work 2 days, they have an expectation, and at least doing it this way, you know, if the customer for some reason is like, well, I wish we got a little bit farther, you can always say, well, I gave you an hour and a half extra at no charge. So that'll usually make them feel better about it, and you'll get paid and everybody goes home happy. So let's flip you around and start pulling some of these shrubs out. Hopefully you guys like this view. Okay, we're gonna try this on Super View. It kind of gives the viewer the widest range, but it also has video stabilization. So we'll see how this works out. Probably kind of a fun, experimentative day trying these things out. Let's just see how that view works out. I think it's probably going to be a good one. I think it'll end up being a favorite. Trail right through here. I want that topsoil pulled out. Now let's go down here and throw this stuff on the fire. audio comes out since I'm behind the camera. I was wanting to kind of where this dock is, so yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where his shoreline is right here. Let's see. Right here is the old dock. Let's just go ahead and check these out. That sucker's not being very cooperative, is he? I got a little sloppy. That's how I grabbed it. Let's get ourselves leveled up. It's kind of important as far as your swing speed. See how that do. Go ahead and clear everything out, make it easier on ourselves. I'm also not running on Eco today. This is a Yanmar Vio AT, and I've been running it on Eco. But today we're going to run it wide open because I'm only going to be working about 2 or 3 hours. So I've got a full tank, I don't have to worry about refueling. And a lot of you guys are asking me questions about the 80 and whether I like it or not. And I do like the machine, I actually love it. It's a very, very good machine. I really don't think he's going to want to keep this old dock, so we're just going to pull it on out. All your movements are about 30% faster when you run it on full throttle. So if you're in a hurry, you can make these things run a little faster. Not very often do I run it wide open like this. My prices are based on running it at a low idle. If I want to run this thing wide open all day, I would probably charge 25 to 30% more. Yes. So now, that thing was rotten. Peninsula to kind of be right where I'm setting. So what I'm going to do is just scuff this lighter soil off the top. Set it down here for now. And yes, it works a little better if you're sitting on the uphill side. Boy, that's a sandy soil. I wonder if they had them a little beach made here. That's sand. That is not native to this area at all. Yeah, that's just real, real sandy. I've got to figure out exactly where our beach line is. Got a good idea where it's at. I'm just going to put this thing right alongside this brush pile. Let's see. This will get him a good ways away from them power lines too. Let's see, the shoreline goes right through to fact they're not going on it. Full of these limbs. The thing about pines, they just snap right off. Now, get started transferring some material. I'm just going to come right up to the base of these trees. Right about there. So what I'm going to do now is make me a flat spot to sit. To dig that peninsula up over there. Swinging around right behind me. There's another piece of that plain pipe. I may have to just run them a new pipe, which that one's not hardly at all underground. Sitting right where the water line will go, so make life a little easier as far as judging everything. They wanted me to bring the dump truck down here and haul a load of riprap to line the front of the peninsula with, but I told them that was not going to happen because I would have to have enough time to do this in 6-inch lifts and track everything in. Otherwise, you back out on it, it's not completely packed all the way down. Your truck's going to sink to the frame. And there you'll be. Some more. As you can see, we tracked it in. We'll build it up some more. Stuff's moving along pretty good. I've been happy with it. One thing to pay attention to is your movements. You want to conserve your time. One thing I don't always do is fill my bucket up. And there's different reasons I don't, but see, I want to reach out. You know, the temptation is to pull the bucket all the way back into you. But leave it all the way out there, because when you swing around, you'll be right where you need to be for the most part. bit of a bump built up there. Better than I thought I did. Moisture content, but it is tracking in well. And pretty much what I'm doing is I'll take a couple of scoops here, a couple of scoops back there, and then I put one down the middle, and then I'm just tracking forward and back, working my way down the hill as I go. And that stuff is going to be watertight. I don't care if I've got to work an extra 2 hours on him. I want him to be happy with the job, so we'll take care of him. A bit of rootage in this one. Dig down till we hit water. Coming out of my bucket. I'll be able to dive off this thing. Yeah, that clay dirt, it does not like to play nicely. guys keep dropping in the comments how I can make these videos better for you. I know I can't make it perfect for everybody every single time, but I am doing the best that I can. This would be a good job for a skid steer right here, but as I say, for my jobs and my uses, an excavator is definitely where it's at. The mountains are just, excavators can go anywhere, they can go places skid steers can't. That may be a little more dizzying, but since I'm doing a 180, how you can just do a continuous dig. You're just doing a transfer. Starting here. Doesn't bother me to redo this at all. We'll move a lot of dirt in a couple of hours, not having the best virgin ground. Won't cake up in the bucket as bad either. I think this is a little easier on components in general to keep continuously going, but for the sake of sanity, I'll change up the way I operate throughout the day. It can get boring. Skip them down here in a little bit. Won't be as dizzying for you guys. That 3-foot bucket's about as big as you'd want to put on this machine. It's kind of bouncy today. On the Peninsula, we're going to give them one. Before I dig this back too far, I'm going to go ahead and scoot forward just a touch. Get as much ground as we can reach. Virgin ground takes a lot more time and oomph to break it loose. This is about as easy a work as you can get. Doing excavator type work. I put 6 hours and let's see, about 45 minutes on this machine yesterday. It wasn't real hard work. So what I did this morning, or am doing, is I've been running for a little bit now. I'm gonna put about an hour and a half on the machine and let everything get warmed up and let my grease gun get warmed up inside the engine compartment. And then I'll re-grease everything. I don't like greasing it when the grease is cold, especially down in the 30s, because it's so thick and it just gets squished out. It doesn't just spread all over the pin and bushings. That's how I do it. Some people may want to just grease it right away. If I'd have had the thought, I would have put my grease gun in my truck yesterday evening, and it could have warmed up on the way here, but pins aren't squilling or anything. Now you may think that's a big pile of dirt, but it'll compress down about 40% that size, so 40-50%. Sometimes more or less, depending on the consistency of the soil. If it's real sandy, it's not going to compress quite as much. The clay, it'll compress down to nothing. Our kind of clay, anyway. Now let's change over to a linear view. This is linear. So you guys like it. Let me tilt the camera down a little more there. There's some grass in there, but not so much that I'm really concerned about it compressing in with the little peninsula. For topsoil. Downspout out there off, let it sit for maybe even a month or two, and let this whole area dry. We could have really done him a good job then. We're gonna do him a good job, but I think I could have done better if I'd have had more of a heads up, been able to plan ahead. But when somebody wants something done right now, you gotta do it right now. Stuff for me. Spoke too soon. Bit of grass here. got a full reach. See, I'm just going to go with about 3 teeth there. See how it rolls right into my way and I can skip it out. You're still collecting the same amount per cut. You're just a little bit more efficient. And a lot of this is experimenting and learning how you like to operate. That's a lot of clay right there. And you can also use the left side of your bucket to gauge how deep you're cutting. So I need to start building this out a little that way. Now this has been a fun little project. I'm glad you guys chose to join me on it. We cleared around this pond. I know the wind's going to kick up now that I start talking. We built our little peninsula. The customer said he absolutely loved how we did the edges and sloped it, packed it smooth. It's kind of rough looking, but what I did was I took the clumps of grass that we had piled up and I just grabbed them and kind of squeezed them back and forth between the thumb and the bucket and shook it to get just a little bit of topsoil up on top of there. We're not sure if they're going to do like, whether they're going to do wood chips, mulch, rock, or just leave it grass or whatever, but I want to get them a little bit of topsoil up there. And I think in about a week he said he's going to try to fill this thing up, so I told him to send us some pictures so I can post them and let you guys see how this turned out. We left the pits where we borrowed dirt to build the peninsula, which ended up moving location one time and actually being about twice as big since we were able to borrow more material. He said just leave these pits like they are for the catfish. He'll be able to sit up on the peninsula, do his catfishing. He does cane pole fishing, so I'm excited for them. And I'm glad I could be a part of it. So I'm gonna load old Yeller up. We're gonna head back over to the job we were at last. They've lifted the burn ban, so we're gonna be able to burn the rest of that stuff. It's gonna save us a bunch of time, a little bit of money, and I just like to burn. So we'll see you guys tomorrow back up at that job. Y'all have a great day.